You have to stop telling yourself that you don't have enough time, because what you're really saying is you don't have enough energy, or you're afraid of the unknown. We all say it. I don't have time to start a YouTube channel. I don't have time to start the side gig that I want to. I don't have time to exercise. I don't have time to eat right or meal prep. But the truth is that you actually do have time. You're just choosing to spend it somewhere else. So time isn't the problem. It's your priorities, it's your beliefs, and your habits. Until you can face that, then you will constantly never have enough time. So let's get brutally honest. What do you consistently say that you don't have enough time for? And be really specific, and you can write it down if you have to. I used to say this all the time. I wanted to start a YouTube channel back in 2020, or actually before that, but I was working full time at a corporate job working in IT, and I also had 2 young kids at the time. So I was really busy, but I honestly believed that I didn't have time to basically do anything that I wanted. And although it can seem that way, it often uncovers something deeper when we say that we don't have enough time to do the things that we actually want to do. Especially when it's a goal or starting something new, it's not that you don't have enough time, it's that you don't want to feel the discomfort that comes with trying something new. Maybe it's avoiding failure, maybe it's avoiding doing things imperfectly, or maybe you're avoiding discipline because you don't want to have to give up what feels easy right now. But here's what really happens when you say that you don't have enough time. You're protecting yourself from uncertainty, and that often feels safer than growth. So in today's video, I really want to talk about how you can create time for just about anything. And when I say anything, I mean the things that you really want to do, the things that you want to pursue, that you feel like you can't because you're either stuck or you feel like you don't have enough time to do them. I'll also give you a tool at the end of this video that you can use to help change your behaviors so that you can make time for everything. But first, let's talk about the real reason why you feel busy all the time. It's not that your hours are magically disappearing. It's that your belief system is dictating how you spend your time. Here's what I mean. When I was working full-time in corporate, I would say that I don't have time for anything. I'm too exhausted after work to start something new or try something different. And then I got pregnant with my first daughter. And guess what? Suddenly, I made time. I had to cut out what didn't matter. I had to rearrange my priorities, and I even had to rearrange parts of my work schedule, and then everything shifted. The same thing when I started a YouTube channel, my main channel, back in 2020. Even starting this channel, I originally told myself I don't have time to start a second YouTube channel, but I knew that it was the direction that I needed to go. But what happened was I told myself for the longest time that I don't have time for this, and I'm too exhausted after work. I have 2 kids, I have a full-time job, and there's just no time to do anything extra, much less start a YouTube channel and try to start a side business. But when I really looked deeper, it wasn't so much about time, because there actually were things that I could rearrange, and there were pockets in my day where I could do small things that would push me to start sooner than when I did. But what was really stopping me was fear. And I was using the fact that I didn't have enough time as an excuse to start something new. I feared that I wouldn't be good enough. I feared that my friends and family would make fun of me. And I feared that I would put all of this effort into it and nothing would happen, meaning that it wouldn't be worth it in the end. But my fear was deeply rooted in uncertainty, because it was something new that I had never done before. And the unknown is often what feels the scariest. So I would use the fact that I didn't have enough time. I'm so busy. I have all of these other things to do. I have all of these other priorities to do. I have all of these social events to go to, as a way to stop me from doing what it is that I really wanted to do, because I was just more fearful of what would actually happen if I did it. But once I realized that, then I stopped trying to look for time, and I actually started creating it. You're never going to just find time laying around. We all have the same amount of time in the day, but it's how you prioritize your time. And you have to decide that this matters enough to place it on your calendar and prioritize it. You can also start treating your time like money. You need to invest it, you need to budget it, and you need to protect it from things that don't bring in a return. And here's another hard truth. If you don't make time for your goals, then you're already making time for distractions. Let's say, for example, you spend an hour scrolling at night. I mean, we're all guilty of doing that to some extent, myself included. Well, when you add that up, that's 7 hours a week. And when you look at it from a monthly perspective, that is 28 hours a week that you could spend prioritizing and moving towards your goals. So whenever you say you don't have time, then honestly replace it with the truth. Do you actually not have time? Is that true? That you have zero time in your day? It's not true because you have 24 hours in your day. You just have to admit that it's not a priority for you right now. And then when you say that to yourself, see how that feels. If it stings and it feels uneasy, then good. That is your wake-up call. Once you start realizing what matters, then you have to protect it with discipline. And I want you to know that discipline is not a punishment. It's not about removing all of the good things in life and only doing this one thing. No. It is about self-respect. It's about protecting your priorities and protecting what matters to you. I have a video that I posted about discipline. If you're interested in checking that out, I'll link that down below. But I had to really get real with myself, especially when I had big goals that I wanted to move towards, yet I was replacing them with excuses that weren't necessarily true. Yes, was my schedule a little bit packed at the time, but it wasn't true that I couldn't find time or prioritize time for the things that mattered to me most. Now, you build discipline by showing up even when you don't feel like it, by carving out time when no one around you understands why, and by doing small things that compound into big results. It's not about taking this huge leap and this massive change. It's about compounded steps every single day. You can really do this by starting small. 30 minutes in the morning before work, 20 minutes at lunch, listening to podcasts while you work out or while you're driving. Stop trying so hard to be perfect with it and focus more on being consistent with it, because consistency compounds faster than talent. And to be honest, whenever your focus and your purpose and your goals become very clear, then your schedule will start to shift naturally, because purpose gives your time a direction to go on. When I finally decided to build something for myself and stop building something for someone else and working for someone else, then I stopped saying, I don't have enough time. And I started saying, I don't have enough time for my corporate job anymore. I have to spend more time building the thing that I want than I do doing something that I don't like. So eventually, over time, I was able to leave my corporate job because I didn't have time for it anymore, because it wasn't a priority anymore. It wasn't in alignment anymore. And I was making time for the future that I wanted to build. And that's really what I want for you. I want you to stop seeing your dream as optional and start seeing it as essential. If you don't make time for your dreams, you will spend your time building someone else's. So if you are looking to help change some of your habits and your behaviors so that you can focus on your priorities, become more disciplined, and make time for anything that you want in life, then I'm going to give you a tool that I've used in the past. And I learned this tool from a life coach named Christine Hassler. I mentioned it in a previous video about building discipline, but I think that it is so helpful that I want to mention it again. And it's called the Start, Stop, and Modify or Change Technique. And the basis of it is that you have a goal that you are anchoring in. So you get really, really clear on the goal that you want to accomplish, the thing that you want to change, the thing that you want to build, and you anchor that in. After you have decided what it is that you want to do, let's take, for example, back when I started my YouTube channel. So I had a goal that I really wanted to start a YouTube channel, but I was struggling really, really bad with time. How do I juggle both jobs? How do I juggle having a full-time job, being a mom, and creating something that I know is what I want for my future? So I applied this technique in different ways. So for the next 40 days, you're going to look at 3 things that you are going to start doing, stop doing, and either change or modify in your habits that are going to help you reach that goal. So say, for example, I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I didn't know how I was going to find the time. So I started looking at my daily routine, my schedule, and I had to figure out what it is that I needed to start doing that was going to help me reach that goal. One thing I didn't do was like go from A to Z or try and change 100 million things at once, because eventually you're just going to get burnt out and fall off the bandwagon. So it's small, simple changes over time that are going to compound and make the biggest difference. So the first thing that I started doing was I knew that I needed to spend 20 minutes or so a day researching how to start a YouTube channel. So I would look at different videos around what camera gear I needed, video topics, YouTube growth, different niche techniques, how to make money on YouTube. And I spent a lot of time consuming content for knowledge. And before I decided to actually take that leap. So I dedicated about 20 minutes a day where I could start doing that. Now I started incorporating these on my walks or during my workout time or while I was driving to and from work so that I could get an idea of what I wanted. The next thing was I needed to find something to stop doing. Now, whenever I look back, one of the biggest things that caused me to wait so long before starting was the belief in myself. So what I stopped doing for 40 days was doubting myself. I stopped telling myself that I wasn't good enough, that I didn't have anything to offer, that people would make fun of me if I posted on YouTube, that I wasn't going to have the perfect videos, that no one would watch my videos. I really, really started to become aware of when these thoughts were coming up. And I told myself that I was going to stop giving in to those beliefs. One, because those beliefs weren't even true to begin with. These were beliefs that I was making up in my head that was stopping me from reaching my goals. So for 40 days, I told myself, I am going to stop playing victim and I am going to stop giving in to these self-doubts. And the last thing, something that I was going to change was I was going to modify my schedule a bit. At the time, I was really, really focused on working out. I would work out 5 days a week. And I decided for the time period, I was actually going to, and I was doing this during lunch. So I was using my lunch break to either go on a walk or to go to the gym. We had a gym in our office. So I decided that I was going to modify my schedule, and instead of working out 5 days a week, I was going to work out 3 days a week. And then the other 2 days, I was going to use that time to edit videos. And then if I had time in the evenings, then with my kids, I could go outside and go on a walk. So I modified my schedule for 40 days to see how I could fit in pieces and time pockets throughout my day to make it work. Another thing that I modified was scrolling or watching Netflix at night. Sometimes I would give into it, but that was just another thing over the next 40 days that I realized that I need to now hit certain deadlines. So in order to hit these deadlines, then I need to cut out some unproductive time throughout my day. So that's just an example of how you can remove the excuse that time is not actually your problem. It's probably something that goes a bit deeper that is blocking you from creating time to do what it is that you really want to do. And once you can figure that out, whether it is fear, whether it is self-doubt, whether it is uncertainty of the unknown, then you can really move forward and literally make time for anything that you prioritize in your life. If you are needing help with just clarity around life in general, I mentioned before that I am a life coach, and you can book a free one-on-one clarity call with me in the link below. But I hope that you all did enjoy today's video. Thank you for watching my brand new channel. Make sure you're subscribed for more content around self-development, discipline, and I will see you all in my next video.